What's up, guys? Today we are going to be making an advent calendar. This is a recycled project using toilet paper rolls, but if you have paper towel rolls, you can use that, or worst case, you can use cardstock. And I say worst case because it's just more work for you guys. So if you have toilet paper rolls, try to use that. Anyways, so let's load the project into Cricut Design Space, and you can grab this file. It is a free file. You can grab it over at my blog. I will have a link in the description down below. All right. So once you load the file into Cricut Design Space, there's a few things we need to do with it before we can go and start cutting everything out. Okay. So I've done everything I possibly can for you in terms of trying to make it easier with the Cricut. So here's what we have. We've got this layer here, which is for the numbers that are going to go on the top of the advent calendar. And then we've got, you'll see this is like a circles layer, and then there's an outline layer, circles layer, outline layer. So here's what I've done. Okay. One set of these layers is going to be for the back, and one set is going to be for the front. So we need to do a few things here, because right now they're just like layers of circles for cutting, right? But that's not what we want to do. So for our back layer, you know what, to make it easier to work with, I'm going to just hide these so they're not distracting. For our back layer, we're going to take this circle layer, and that's this layer right above this outline layer, okay? And we are going to change this one to draw. And the reason why we are having a draw layer is so you guys have a template of where you're going to be gluing down these toilet paper rolls. It's going to be immensely helpful to have this guide. So you're going to flip that to draw, and then you're going to take that and take the bottom one here. Okay, we're going to ungroup everything. And you're going to take that draw layer and the layer just below that, and you're going to attach, okay? And what that is telling Cricut is that that layer, like this outline layer, is what it needs to draw on, okay? So we're going to attach those two. We've got our bottom back layer. Next, we're going to take our, so here we're going to hide that one, and we're going to show these two. We're going to take our next circles layer, and we're going to make this one perforate. Okay, so yes, I am using the Cricut Maker for this project. I have a perforation tool. If you do not have the perforation tool, then you may want to skip this. You can probably still do a draw, but it's not gonna, like, it's gonna be hard to punch out, right? So maybe you could do a cut layer with like a thinner, like not as thick, so it doesn't puncture all the way through. So for example, if you're using heavy cardstock, maybe you try using the light cardstock settings, so it will give that little imprint, but it won't puncture all the way through. It's still going to be messy when you open it up, unfortunately. So if you have the Maker, I highly recommend using the perforation tool for this project. But I mean, if you don't, then you gotta work with what you got, right? So yeah, so assign that to perforate. And then same thing, you're going to take that layer and the bottom layer, and you're going to attach that as well. And once again, that's going to tell Cricut that that layer needs to be perforated. So yeah, those are the two layers there. And then finally, we have our numbers, which you have to zoom out for. And the only thing we need to do with our numbers is we need to weld it. Okay, and the reason why we're doing that is because if you don't weld it, when you go to make it, it's gonna sort the numbers in like a really big mess. So it's gonna have like 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 4 kind of thing, and we're trying to avoid that because it is much easier for us to glue this, like to pick these off almost as like stickers, right, and glue them to our advent calendar rather than having to find, like, okay, I'm on day 12, I have to find a 1 and a 2, or I'm on day 24, I have to find a 2 and a 4. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you'd rather have like the 1 1 1 2 2 2 4 whatever, then go ahead and not weld it, because then that's probably how it will come out. All right, and this is it for all we need to do inside Cricut Design Space. So if we go to make it, you should have, oh, I'm gonna show the other layers again. Gotta reveal everything. All right, and then you should have everything laid out here. So This is going to try to get you to cut this on a 12 by 24. So if you have that, great. If you don't, you can do this on a 12 by 12. All you're going to have to do is go back here and hide like one set. So see these two different attach bundles? Just hide one of them and then cut that out, and then come back and hide the other one and cut that out. So you could do that. Because it's not going to let you cut it on a 12 by 24 because it's kind of cutting it too close, but it will still cut because that's what I'm doing. I did not use a 12 by 24 mat. Anyways, so cut that out and let me show you how we're going to assemble this. Alright, so here's what we're working with, guys. We've got our back layer here, and this has all our draw lines on it. We've got our front layer here, and this has all our perforation mark circles on it. And I've got toilet paper rolls. Okay, so what I've done, there's a few different ways you can do this, but this is how I've done it because I just found it the, I guess, more polished way of doing it. Is I took construction paper and I cut it in half this way, okay? And the interesting thing is that it actually is perfect for rolling this like along the paper. So all I've done here is I've taken a regular glue stick, just put glue all over this. And I just roll that up. And that's it for that. Now, I'm going to take my base, and all these lovely draw lines are my marks for where I'm going to be gluing this down, okay? So I'm just going to be using a hot glue gun because it gives me the most precision and it dries really fast. And that's what I'm going to be using, but feel free to use whatever glue you have. So all you're going to do is take your glue gun and make little circles on the draw lines. And then take your tubes and stick them down. And continue on with that. Now for the top part here, I've cut out my numbers here, and I'm just going to glue each of those down on here. Alright, so once we've glued everything down and we've got all our numbers on our top cover here, you just fill it up with little candies or little trinkets or whatever you want to put in here. And then we're just going to glue our cover on top, okay? So same thing, just kind of put some glue all over all the circles. And then you're just going to glue that right on top. And that's it, yay! And then every day you just punch out one of these holes. So, I hope you liked this one, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!